Hi everyone and welcome to the French Watch Collector. Today on the bench we have one great watch from the Holy Trinity. We have a watch from Vacheron Constantin. Look at this beautiful watch and you will see you are in for a treat. Inside is even better than from the outside. You will see this caliber inside. You see it's a gold case, kind of a barrel shape you have on the case as well. You see a brush finish. And what we're going to do a full restoration on this watch. But first, we're going to check how it works. Oof, that's not really good. Like you can see like on a time grapher, it's even not picking the rate on the time grapher. So yes, there is definitely something wrong with this watch. So what we're going to do the full service on this Calibre and see if it works. And as well, I would like to say at the beginning that if you did not subscribe to the video, please click subscribe on the channel and on a thumbs up as well if you like the video. That will help a lot my channel as well. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna open this beautiful case back there. Just gonna use my blade there just to open the case back. And you will see inside what we can see is beautiful. Wow, look at this caliber from Vacheron, yeah. Automatic caliber, very, very thin. I will talk about this caliber a bit later on. You can see, look at the finish and on, wow, it's wonderful, yeah. And you can see on the case back as well, full gold case back and case. You can see the reference number 2020Q as well. That's a reference number of this watch. We can see here the automatic rotor, which is, and actually you can see around the rotor is a piece of gold, like it's very, very heavy. That's just to make the mass to rotate, because obviously the gold is has a very high density. So we're gonna do first, we're gonna try to remove this rotor here. And you can see here, we have a kind of a tongue here that need to be pulled. There we go. And now I can take the rotor out of the way. And look at the decoration on even underneath the rotor is a beautiful finishing. And you will see on this caliber it's a shame that actually like the owner of this watch doesn't see this caliber, because it's so nice. Look at the Cope de Genèse, which is a stripe that you have on top of the bridges there. You see you have a kind of roller there with like a jewel. You see like a roll jewel there, which is actually for the rotor that I just removed, just to slide on top of it when it's winding. And look at this beautiful caliber. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, and you can see the dial as well as a special type of finishing on it as well, a texture on it. I'm just going to remove the end here. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything with this die. I will just keep it as original, like the case as well. I'm not going to do a full polish on the case. I will just leave it as it is. I will just do a nice service on this caliber, and we saw like it was not running very well at all. So yeah, let's just remove the hands first. And what I'm going to do next as well, we're going to remove this beautiful dial. Just you see releasing the dial fit screw here on the side. And look how thin it is, this caliber. And it's actually, so this is the Calibre 1121 from Vacheron. And I think at the time it was probably, and I will talk a bit more about this caliber, the thinnest, if it's not one of the thinnest automatic caliber from the era, is very, very, very thin, yeah. Okay, you can see there we have a calendar mechanism. Okay, so just going to remove now the dial, just put it in this box just to make sure it's safe. And we will start the disassembly by removing, you see, the hour wheel here. And the cannon pinion, and you can see I could not use my Presto tool on this cannon pinion, so I would just use a pair of lever there from to remove ends normally. Just managed to remove the cannon pinion. And you can see that there is a jewel right in the center. That's really nice, always. And you see here there is some marking that you need to remove this spring first. So that's quite nice, actually, from Vacheron, just to put some indication on how to remove or to reassemble the watch. So we just remove this huge spring you see here. There we go. And we have there, we're going to remove this plate, which is on top, this kind of bridge, more from the calendar mechanism. Just remove it very gently. There we go. And we can see even underneath we have some finishing with some perlage, with some straight graining. And now look at the mechanism for the date change. We'll talk about it a bit later on when we reassemble the watch, but yeah, I never saw that. And it's quite clever, actually. It's a system you can see with two parts with acting as a cam, just to have a quick set date change, to have like the date jumping very quickly around midnight. Now just remove, you see, the wheel from the calendar mechanism. And you can see you have a cam on top of the wheel there. Moving the date disc. And now I just move to the balance side, and we're just going to remove the power first. But you can see when I'm removing the click there, the power is not unwinding. So obviously being an automatic watch, most of the time you have the automatic system, which is as well blocking the power. So, but this one, everything is integrated with the automatic system. It's not a different system. You see all the parts and all the wheels are under the same bridge. And look here, there is another click here from the automatic. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove the tension on this click. And normally, here we go, you see, now I can unleash a power between my fingers there on the crown. And we should see, a full stop on a balance here. Beautiful balance. Just checking, you see the handshake there, if it looks okay. Yeah, looks good. You can see you have small weights on top just to adjust the rate on the watch. Just going to remove the jewels that we will clean later on. Just put back the spring here. And what I do, like I do most of the time, I try to remove the balance assembly here as soon as I can, because I don't want to damage anything on a hairspring or anything on a balance wheel. It's a very fragile part, so just going to remove that as soon as possible. Perfect. Just going to remove now, you see the palette fork, and you see underneath there is still some, look at the perlage, which is on a bridge, so small. And you see the anglage as well, which is on the bridges. You see a polish on the edge of each bridges. That's done by hand, yeah, actually. And yeah, this is art basically on this watch. And you see different type of perlage as well. You will have bigger size. You see, for example, on this wheel on the top, the perlage is very, very small on the center post there from the rotor. You can see there's a number from the Calibre. I told you the K1121. So we have a small bridge there with 2 jewels on it. Just gonna remove this small bridge first. I will take the escape wheel here, and we see we're gonna take the wheels one by one from the train of wheel. But first, you see I need to disassemble these parts, which are from the automatic winding system. And you see, obviously, we saw this caliber is very, very thin. And to reduce the thickness, obviously, they integrated a lot of parts in one way. Basically, they had a clever way to find a thin caliber. You can see here we have a part with a jewel inside, obviously for the automatic winding. Just removing the screws here, you see, from the ratchet wheel. Very, very small screws there. Okay, you see underneath again, we see the perlage on the parts. We have the click here that I'm gonna remove. Look at all the different type of finish. It's amazing on this watch here. Okay, and so now we remove the 3 screws that we have on the crown wheel there. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna remove this big bridge, which is keeping a lot of parts underneath. And we see we have a lot of parts. So obviously we have the train of wheel, as usual. We'll have the barrel as well, the barrel assembly. And as well, we'll have all the parts from the automatic winding, which is exactly at the same level as the train of wheel. You see that's all the parts from the automatic winding. And so that makes it like to reduce the height, they made the automatic winding at the same level as the train of wheel gear. So that's quite clever actually. And this is a part from the train of wheel. Yeah, you see these 2 kind of gold color wheels there. And this one as well is from the automatic winding. Okay, I'm just going to remove, you see this beautiful barrel here, barrel assembly, that we're going to disassemble a bit later on. And on this side, we just had to remember the click that was for the automatic winding, keeping the power. So I'll just remove, here we go, this click there. And you see a lot of jewels as well on this watch. A lot of different jewels. And so now we just move on the dial side. And just remove here, you see with a piece of Rodico there, I try to grab the jumper for the date. And we're going to disassemble the keyless work on this watch. Gonna remove, you see, the screw there from the keyless work. There's some wheels attached. You see some, probably some dried up grease or oil on these parts and make it stick to each other. Okay, so we're gonna remove, you see the yoke here, which is a very different shape on this yoke with a spring which is integrated in one piece. Just, you see we have, gonna remove this screw there from the setting lever. And we have all the parts now, setting lever here, and we should be able to remove the crown here and with the rest of the wheel. With the clutch. And here we go. Now we have all the keyless work, which is disassembled. We can see all the parts there on the bench. We still have a few parts to disassemble. And you see I'm just grabbing there and cleaning the setting lever on bit of on Rodico here. Okay, I'm just going to disassemble now with the barrel assembly. Very gently opening. It's very tight. There we go, perfect. Okay, so I'm just removing, you see, the lid of the barrel, and inside we can see the barrel arbor actually is screwed in place. That's quite new as well. And you will see the barrel and the barrel assembly, the barrel arbor, everything is very, very thin. So yeah, that's I guess a way to reduce the stiffness as well on this caliber. And now I just need to remove these very tiny screws on a barrel. There we go. You see, just grabbing each screw one by one. A bit sticky, you see inside, because we have a grease as well that I'm gonna clean as well inside the barrel. And now I'm just removing, you see, the barrel arbor. And I will try to remove, you see this spring inside, which is very, very thin. Ooh, it's just jumped there. It didn't go very far. It just stayed in a bench. I was very lucky. But you see, like being so thin, it was very tricky to grab, and always need to be very careful with this mainspring there. I will just, you see, with a piece of pegu, just take the jewels there. So just cleaning and removing the dried up oil and grease on each single jewel from this watch. Just grabbing, you see, one jewel from the balance assembly here, with the first one that we already took out. Okay. Just gonna place back the balance as always on the main plate, just to make sure we keep it safe during the cleaning. Always a good practice to do that, to keep it, because if you just leave it alone, like inside the cleaning machine, like the mainspring inside the hairspring, will get damaged. So, and yeah, it will be you can fix hairspring, but it's quite tricky. So yeah, it's better to avoid that. And so now what we're gonna do, put all the parts you see in these different size baskets, and all these parts will go inside my vintage Elma cleaning machine. And all the parts we get clean, remove the dirt, the oil, the grease that was on this watch, and we're gonna put it brand new again. And after that, reassemble the watch and re-oil the watch correctly. And you see, there's quite a lot of parts inside these baskets. Okay, so for the cleaning first, we're going to start with the cleaning solution. Just do it for like 5 minutes. Then we will do 2 rinsing, and we will finish by a cleaning chamber just to clean and dry the parts. So yeah, I would like to tell you as well that I have a Patreon page, so you can find a link down below in the description of this video to find my Patreon. You can go there and subscribe to my channel. That will help me a lot. And I would like to thank Olaf, Marcus, Philippe, Roger, Matt, David, Shelby, Jan, Courtney, Alan, David, Tony, Tim, and Gregory. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me. And if you want to go to my Patreon, again, you will have a link down below. You can subscribe to one of the plan, and it will help my channel by a lot to support me. And as well, if you do not subscribe to the video, again, you can subscribe to the channel. You can click on blue thumbs up if you like the video, and click as well on the bell icon. I try to put a video twice every 2 weeks. Yeah, you will get a nice reminder if I put a new video. So what I will do on this watch, I will put, you see now starting the reassembly, I will put a brand new mainspring inside the barrel there. I will just place back, you see there, the barrel arbor. And you remember there was 3 small screws that we need to put in position. And first, before screwing, I will just re-oil, you see, like all the contact point there with medium viscosity oil here. And now you see I will put this part on top of it there. And that's the part that we, from the underside, we need to screw here with the 3 screws there. So yeah, it's very, very, very small. You see screws on this one. And one by one, very gently, we're gonna screw the parts that we put back on the underside. Okay, so now we're gonna put the lid there on top, and we're gonna close this inside this Rotec tool here, which is a very nice tool. We're gonna press there on a barrel assembly, and again we're gonna oil. You see the contact point here, and the next step now is gonna do like we do every time. Gonna do epilam treatment on the parts. So I'm just put you see this part in this special box bottle more with the epilam inside. Just gonna leave it for like 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds. I'm gonna dry the part. And the epilam, what it does, again, it will leave kind of a treatment on the surface, and the oil will retain where you put it. It will not spread the oil on the surface. That's all the part. We're gonna put some oil a bit later on, or grease. And you see that's the first jewel there where I'm putting the oil right in the center. And you see the oil doesn't spread. It will just stay where I just put it. And now I just put back the chaton back on top. And you can see, yeah, perfect. The oil basically is captured inside these two parts. And the drop of oil will drop inside the balance staff, which is the pivot point of the balance assembly. You can see there, we have the balance staff, and now the drop of oil that we just put is right emerge, if you want, inside the balance post there on this side. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Look at this beautiful caliber. Now it's fully clean. After the cleaning in a watch cleaning, it's very, very, very nice. Very, you see, very sparky, very the color are even nicer than before, and the type of finish as well is looks even better than before. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do the second jewel there from the balance assembly. Just put the spring here, you see. There we go. Just checking there, you see, with a bit of air, just to see if the balance assembly is oscillating nicely, if the air spring is fully flat and fully concentric. And on this one, actually, everything was nice, so I don't need to adjust anything on the balance here. And you check as well that you see it's balancing freely, that there is no friction on the wheel. It should stop very slowly, and you see this one is oscillating very nicely. And so now we're going to start the reassembly on the main plate. You see I start by the parts on automatic winding here. We'll have, you see, all the, because being automatic wind, this one can be wind in both direction. So that's why you have all this wheel there, can transmit the power obviously to the barrel assembly in one direction. So that's quite clever. You will have, you see the spring here. You have another sliding wheel here. And now we're gonna put the wheel from the train of wheel. And you can see, like, we need to align all the pivot points on the jewel. And now I just put, you see, a drop of oil on the center wheel here, where it goes on the jewel. Okay, I just put the bridge, and again, we're gonna realign everything, like every every wheels, every parts underneath. We're gonna align everything on the jewels very slightly. And look at this beautiful, I love this caliber. And again, for a watchmaker, when you work on this type of watches, this type of caliber, yeah, it's even nicer because you see beautiful parts. It's a great joy to work on these watches. And I hope as well you enjoyed it on a video, yeah. Okay, and about this caliber as well, I told you this one is a caliber 11-20-21. And actually this caliber is a caliber that was designed and developed by Jaeger. It's not a Vacheron Constantin. Obviously, the number is a number from Vacheron Constantin, but the base caliber is from Jaeger. And actually, the same caliber as was used at the same time by Audemars Piguet, which is a caliber 21-21, for example. And this caliber, it was used on all the Royal Oak from Audemars Piguet. And this one as well from Vacheron was used in a lot of different watch from Vacheron. Obviously, you see this type of dress watch from Vacheron, but as well other more sporty, like for example the Oversea from Vacheron. And yeah, so this caliber, and I think it might have been used as well by Patek Philippe at one point, but for sure, like most of for example, the Royal Oak from this era was with this caliber inside, and they were used for many years. So this is a wonderful caliber made from Jaeger and used by Vacheron and Audemars Piguet. So yeah, that's the quality from this caliber and the type of finish as well. Probably the finish was done by Vacheron. But yeah, that's to say as well about Jaeger LeCoultre, the calibers they were making before as well, and still today they are like great, and it's a great house for the caliber and that they use as well. They made a lot of calibers that they even did not use for their own watches. They use it for watches from other brand. So yeah, that's a great caliber, and you will find a lot of history as well online about this caliber and its history. And again, it's very thin, and that's why Vacheron and Audemars Piguet use it, because it's a very thin automatic caliber on their watch, and a great one. Okay, so we carry on again. While I was speaking a bit, carry on with the reassembly. And we just put back, you see the bridge, and just put back here, and you see if everything is turning. Yeah, everything is turning perfectly here. So that's very nice. Just put the crown wheel here. Just put, you see already the ratchet wheel. And you see again on this one, you will have a three screw top on it there, just with tiny ones. And it's actually, I think it's the same screws that's used, you see on a ratchet wheel, and were used as well on a barrel arbor. It's exactly the same type of screw. And so now we move to the dial side, and we're gonna reassemble, you see, the keyless work here. And you will see me putting some brew grease there on the keyless work. Again, because we see a lot of tension between these parts. So we will use a heavier grease if you want, because the oil will not be thick enough for this type of application. So I just put it there, you see, on the winding stem. Just gonna put, you see, the setting lever here, which remember, this is one that need to be screwed from the other side. So I just keep it with one finger. And I just screw it in position. Yeah, you see, that's doing its job right now. Again, I just put some grease there on the clutch. We're going to put the yoke here. And I'm just going to put with my automatic oiler, you see, I'm going to lubricate all the rotating pivot point here. I'm putting the yoke. You see here it's a bit tricky, so I will use two tools. You see my plastic probe there just to put it in position. Just align it on the clutch here. There we go, perfect. Just a drop of oil there on the spring. Putting the cannon pinion, which is mounted like with friction on the parts. Yeah, there we go. And now I'm gonna put like all the wheels from the keyless work with the minute wheel here. And now we have this setting lever spring that go on top here. You see with a brushed finish on it, another type of finish. Just realign, like these screws are so small here on these parts. So I just need to make sure I align everything. You see, like I'm just screwing this one fully. I'm just gonna put the second one first, and after I will tighten up everything on this part. And you see, I'm just gonna grease here the setting lever jumper here. Yeah, and that's working perfectly on the system here from the keyless work. Great. Okay. You remember it was this click as well on the automatic winding. I just need to put back in position. Need to align as well on this jewel here. Again, on this watch you have like jewels everywhere, and this is this is a proof of the quality on this Calibre, because obviously like these ruby are very, very hard, very close to diamond, just below diamond, so like they don't wear. If it would be parts metal against metal, they will wear at one point. Even if you put some oil on these ruby, they will not wear. And obviously, it's more difficult to install them than just having a hole with metal around. Obviously, it's an extra step on the production. So yeah, that's again, it's a testament of the quality on these calibers. Yeah. Okay, I just put back, you see the palette fork. I will just wind the watch a tiny bit. Perfect, it looks like it's winding nicely here. And we're gonna oil as well the palette fork. Just put a drop of oil, you see here. Just a drop of oil on the exiting jewel of the palette fork. And I will do this movement 5 times. You see now I lubricated 5 teeth from the escape wheel. And we will do this 3 times to do the 15 wheels on the escape wheel. And this is the last time here. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna oil as well. I will just put some picture under the microscope. We're gonna oil some of the jewels there as well. We need to oil all the jewels from the train of wheel, from the automatic winding, like all the jewels that there is on these parts. We need to oil as well. We already done it like on a barrel post there. You can see like a lot of, like I said, there is a lot of rubies on this watch. Okay, so now we're gonna put back the balance assembly and see if this watch want to start or not. As always, a tricky point during the reassembly, see if the watch want to start back and how it run. So we're just gonna turn it ever so slightly. You see, like I try to realign the balance wheel, the bridge on top. Very so slightly here. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. You see, just a quick impulse on the balance wheel, and it just started here. Just gonna put back the screw, and obviously we see at the end, we still have stuff to do on this work. Actually, quite a lot of stuff to do, but we see at the end how it run on this beautiful watch. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to reassemble the calendar mechanism. So you remember on this calendar, it's quite a tricky mechanism. There is two wheels you will see you're going to put now on a calendar. This first one where we have a kind of a hook on it. And the second one, we have a cam on it, like almost like a chronograph cam on the watch, yeah, on the wheel. And we have these two parts, you see, with a jewel on top of it, just to make it slide, you will see. And you see on the Calibre, there is some sign where you need to align the wheels and the parts. You see, the hook one, you will have the part which is coming on top, and the other one will act as a cam. And when you put these two parts, as is said on a Calibre, when you align each wheels with each contact point, normally you will see the calendar mechanism should work very nicely. And again, this is a very thin calendar mechanism to have a quick date jump. And now I need to realign everything with this bridge on top. And you see, we'll see as well on these parts the marking where it need to be aligned. You see, you have one, the one at the top there where you have the one with the cam, and the one at the bottom is the one with the hook, where it need to be aligned one to each other. Just put the screw there on the bridge. And again, just to arm the system, we have to put this spring that come exactly against the two parts that we put, you see, with this kind of bronze color parts there, just to give the tension. And you see here, what I will do, I need to put the hour wheel first, just to make the connection between the time and the calendar. And you see, look at the parts moving. So the hook is pulling. You see the arm on the bottom, which is moving. And now we see the jump. And tack, we have the jump on the date. This is a very, very clever way of have a quick date changing on this Calibre, and very thin again. Okay, so now we're gonna put back this beautiful die. I did not touch anything on the die. I just wanted to keep it. I did not want to run the risk of damaging anything on this beautiful and unique dial as well from Vacheron, which is as well made of gold, and we have a very kind of very nice finish on it. Okay, we're gonna make the date jump again just to realign the ends that we're gonna put later on at midnight. Oh, we see the jump there, perfect. And we see the jump is very quick on this mechanism, that's very nice. Okay, we're gonna align that very quickly to midnight. And you see the hand is not fully in position now. I'm just gonna rotate again, and I'm gonna fine-tune the alignment of our hand. You see very slowly there, I know it's coming. Oh, the jump is here. Now I just realign it to midnight. And now with my Orotech tool there, I will just press it. And again, I will put some link in the description with Orotech and some of the tools, so you can go there as well in the description of the video. I will put more information on the tools that I use on his channel and on his watch. Okay, so now we'll realign the minute hand here. And you see we just press it in position. Quick alignment and see if the date is moving around midnight. Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, three minutes before midnight, so that's perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna put back the big rotor with the gold weight, which is on the circumference of this weight there. You see, I'm oiling as well. It's kind of like it's kind of a ball where the weight will slide on his jewels when it's rotating. And you see now it's rotating on the jewels, so I can press this tongue there just to clip. There we go, perfect. Just gonna check and see if everything is rotating nicely. Perfect, yeah, it looks like it's working nicely. Just gonna vacuum, you see, on the case back, just to make sure. I'll just remove any dust on the crystal side and just gonna blow there on the dial side just to remove as well any dust or anything on this beautiful watch, and gonna close the case. And it's just a snap-on case, just a click in position when you press on it. And that's it. Basically, we're going to see now if the watch is running nicely. We check on the case there if everything goes well. Yeah, everything looks good. Perfect. Just winding the watch. Just going to leave it for a couple of days on automatic winder just to make sure everything works as well on the automatic winder. So that's always part of the test on the watch. And after that, we're gonna demagnetize the watch just to make sure there is no magnetization during disassembly of the watch. And before seeing the test result, I just want to tell you that I have my own website. You can find the link in the description. I will put as well a link on the top right corner of this video. You can see some of the watches that are for sale. And actually, this beautiful Vacheron is for sale on my website. And if you want to send me some of your watch for to be serviced, don't hesitate to contact me on my website. I will be very happy to work on your watch. Okay, and you can see now the time result. You can see the amplitude went back up. You remember at the beginning, it was not picking a reading on a time grapher. Now the rate, I will just fine tune it a bit, like it's around 9 seconds. I will try to get it close to 3 seconds. The bit error is perfect at 0. It's the amplitude at 260. This watch is running again perfectly. And again, this watch is for sale on my website. You can go there and have a look at the watch. Beautiful watch. It was a pleasure to work on his watch. And I see you for my next video. Bye bye.